If you watched any blockbuster comedies from 2001 to 2008, odds are decent you enjoyed the comic stylings of Mr. Ben Stiller, and for good reason. The now legendary writer, actor, director has been churning out hilarious movies for a long time. But he wasn't alone. Stiller wisely worked alongside the comic stylings of what is often referred to as the Frat Pack in several of his biggest projects of that era. We're talking hits like Meet the Parents, Zoolander, Tropic Thunder, etc. The Frat Pack was originally considered to be Will Ferrell, Jack Black, Vince Vaughn, Luke Wilson, and Owen Wilson, and then the likes of Steve Carell, John C. Reilly, and David Koechner were added in. It wasn't an official group per se, just a fun way to think about the mix and match of comedic powerhouse talent that seemed to enjoy working together. Stick around as we go through some classic Ben Stiller movies to look at which Frat Pack members he shared the screen with. If you haven't seen 2004's hilarious Starsky and Hutch, you'd be wise to
do it.
It's a great remake of the classic TV series, though the influence of Ben Stiller and the Frat Pack ensured that it was a much more comedic take than the original. Though, to be fair, it still had its share of action sequences, including some pretty well-done car chases in the car made famous by The Show, a 1976 Ford Gran Torino. The titular Starsky and Hutch are played by Stiller and Owen Wilson, respectively, and they were a comedic force to be reckoned with. They played off each other brilliantly, often in pretty ridiculous costumes. Rounding out the Frat Pack presence was the always scene-stealing Will Ferrell as an inmate/informant Big Earl, and Vince Vaughn as the movie's main baddie Reese Feldman. Vaughn had to play his role fairly grounded so that the over-the-top antics of Stiller and Wilson could shine through. The act like a dragon scene alone is worth it, though it's probably a little too risque for this video, so we'll let you Google that one on your own. 2001's Zoolander is arguably the movie that put Ben Stiller on the map. It's an absurd take on the world of fashion, international espionage, and
Orange Mocha Frappuccino!
Stiller plays a male model who is, well, a real dum-dum. And yet he's so ridiculously good-looking he can't help but be a huge star. Of course, he has his moments of doubt.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being ridiculously good-looking?
This is especially true when he gets involved in a plot to kill the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Trust me, it makes sense in the zany world of Zoolander. Once again joining him as his sidekick is Owen Wilson, who plays Hansel, another world-famous male model. And Stiller's real-life wife, Christine Taylor, plays an investigative journalist trying to break the story. Once again, Stiller and Wilson are joined by Will Ferrell and Vince Vaughn. This time, Ferrell gets to play the main bad guy, though true to form, he plays his character way over the top, and it's awesome.
Are you not aware that I get farty and bloated with a foamy latte?
Vaughn's role is pretty small, which isn't too surprising given that he was less of a big name way back then. But he plays Zoolander's coal miner brother and has a funny scene in a bar with Stiller and Jon Voight, who plays their dad. Meet the Parents is another of the classic Stiller movies that seems to be rife with ever-quotable moments. If you've ever heard anyone say,
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
That's what they're quoting from. It's the tale of a guy named Greg who, after getting engaged, travels to meet his fiance's parents for the first time. It's a classic story we've all been through, where her father is a secret CIA agent who spends the weekend trying to harass and interrogate you. No? Just me? Okay then. Robert De Niro has an incredible turn as Jack Burns, the parent in question. And Stiller gets to play the dialed-down Greg character who's just trying to survive the visit. The other Frat Pack member is Owen Wilson. Are we sensing a pattern here? He plays the uber-successful ex-boyfriend of Pam, the fiancée. And while there aren't a ton of scenes with the two of them, it's still comedy gold. Meet the Parents was a blockbuster hit, raking in over $330 million worldwide. So naturally, they had to make a sequel. And despite perhaps not being quite as good as the original, it's still a fun ride. And it earned $522 million at the box office, so everyone was happy. And I'm sure Ben Stiller was happy to be rejoined with the fantastic cast, including his buddy, Owen Wilson. They both played the same characters, of course, and when they saw each other, they were probably like,
Manishma! which is Hebrew for what's going on.
Joining the fun this time were legends Barbara Streisand and Dustin Hoffman as Greg's parents, adding to the overall neurosis and hilarity of the movie. Now, I can't go too long without hearing someone say, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
See what I mean? That gem is from the aptly named Dodgeball, an Underdog Story, which follows the tale of a Vince Vaughn-led ragtag group of dodgeball players. They're trying to win a big tournament to save the gym they love. It's the Bad News Bears meets, well, middle school gym class. Vince plays the down-to-earth and slightly sarcastic lead, Peter LaFleur. And this time, Stiller gets to play the insane, over-the-top villain, White Goodman. He's the owner of the rival gym, looking to win the tournament and own both gyms. It's a frat pack battle to see who can best follow the 5 Ds of dodgeball.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Finally, we have Tropic Thunder, a movie that saw Ben Stiller and another frat pack buddy, Jack Black. They play 2 actors, a reach I know, who are filming an action movie in the jungles of the Golden Triangle, where Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar meet. But unbeknownst to them, they accidentally get involved in a real-life battle against a local drug ring. They think it's all part of the movie, they bravely fight back, act tough, say pithy one-liners, and the rest. But eventually they realize they're in actual danger. It's a hilarious send-up of Hollywood and a great watch, if nothing else to see Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr., say this line.
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
When it comes to rewatchable movies, pretty much every one of these qualifies. I could sit and do a marathon of all these, and the only thing I'd need are some solid snacks and a few bathroom breaks. Okay, maybe one break for some sunshine. Gotta get that vitamin D, people. Have any thoughts about the Frat Pack or these classic comedies? Pop them in the comments section.